Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're diving deep into one of the most significant cars ever to roll off a British production line. And I promise you, by the time we reach the end, you'll have a complete understanding of what made this car matter so much. We're going to explore everything from the design that turned heads on the street to the engineering that made drivers actually want to be behind the wheel. We'll talk about how it feels to drive, what the interior experience is really like, how practical it actually is for everyday life. And then we'll address the honest strengths and weaknesses that come with owning one of these classics. We'll break down the pricing, discuss the value for money, and see how it stacked up against the competition when it mattered most. So stick around, because there are real insights coming that'll give you the complete picture before you form any opinion about this car. Now picture yourself in 1962. The automotive world is changing rapidly. Families want something different, something that balances practicality with a touch of sportiness. European manufacturers are sensing an opportunity, and Ford steps up with an idea that would reshape the entire compact car segment. The result was the Cortina, and when the GT version arrived just a year later in 1963, it sent a clear message. Affordable didn't have to mean boring. This wasn't just another family runabout. This was a car with personality, with character, with something genuinely worth getting excited about. The Cortina GT MK1 represented a pivotal moment in automotive history where British engineering met European sensibility, and the result was something that would influence car design for generations to come. When you first see the 1963 Cortina GT, the design language hits you immediately. It's clean, it's honest, and there's a remarkable sophistication to how every line works together. The front end features a purposeful chrome grille that doesn't overwhelm the face, paired with clean headlights that seem to look forward with genuine intent. There's something almost sculpted about the bodywork, with defined character lines running the length of the car that create visual movement even when it's standing still. The proportion is absolutely right for a car of this class. The hood is short and upright, the cabin sits well in the middle of the wheelbase, and the rear overhang is purposeful without looking ungainly. The GT variant wore some unique badges and slightly more aggressive trim, giving it a sportier edge over the standard models. The windows have a nice rounded quality to them, and there's an almost Jaguar-like elegance to how the side profile flows into the rear. The rear deck is clean and simple, with integrated taillights that feel modern even by today's standards. Underneath, the engineering is straightforward but clever, with a McPherson strut independent front suspension that was genuinely ahead of its time for a car at this price point. Step inside, and you immediately notice that Ford understood something crucial about the compact car customer. Yes, space is limited, but the interior doesn't feel cramped because every inch is thoughtfully designed. The dashboard is a simple horizontal affair with a shape that feels almost contemporary even now. The steering wheel is a proper circular piece with a thin rim, giving you a real connection to the road and the car's intentions. The seats are supportive without being overly firm, and there's decent lateral support for the kind of spirited driving this car was built for. The upholstery materials are honest and straightforward, nothing pretentious, but they wear with character. The visibility is genuinely excellent because the windows are large and positioned to give you a clear view of everything around you. Storage is clever and practical, with sensible cubbies and shelving throughout the cabin. The steering column is adjustable, which was actually quite progressive for 1963. In the back, two passengers can sit in genuine comfort on shorter journeys, though longer trips might get a little cozy. The trunk offers a surprising amount of space for a car this size, capable of handling real luggage and shopping bags without complaint. Every switchgear, every control, every button feels purposeful and easy to understand. There's no pretense here, no unnecessary complication. It's a car that respects the intelligence of the person driving it. Now, technology in the early 1960s meant something very different than it does today, but Ford packed some genuinely clever thinking into this car. The electrical system is straightforward but reliable, with a 6-volt generator that powers everything from the headlights to the starter motor. The heating system is a simple but effective affair, with a good warm-up time and the ability to keep the cabin comfortable through British winters. The ventilation system actually works, with proper fresh air vents that can be controlled from inside the cabin, a feature many of today's cars still struggle with. The fuel system is carbureted, using a standard setup that's easy to understand and actually quite tunable if you want to extract a little more performance. The ignition system is points-based, which means it requires some attention, but it's straightforward to maintain and adjust. There's a radio option available, though many cars came with just the basics. The windshield wipers are mechanical, powered by a simple and effective design. What's remarkable about the Cortina GT's technology is that while it's simple, it's also dependable. There's a philosophy here that says every system should do one job well rather than trying to do everything imperfectly. Under that upright hood sits an engine that's absolutely essential to understanding what makes this car special. The GT came with a 1.5-litre 4-cylinder engine producing around 59 horsepower, which might sound modest today, but in 1963 this was respectable performance for a car this size. The engine is an overhead valve design, straightforward and strong, with good mechanical feel. It revs readily, and there's a real sense of engine presence when you're driving it. The sound is particularly appealing, a mechanical hum that has character without being harsh. It'll push this car to around 88 miles per hour, which felt quick in 1963, and the acceleration is genuinely spirited for a family car. The power delivery is linear and predictable, building smoothly as you work through the engine's rev range. Fuel consumption is reasonable for the era, and the whole package feels like exactly what Ford intended, an engine that encourages spirited driving without demanding constant attention or exotic maintenance. The transmission is a 4-speed manual, a gearbox that's an absolute joy to operate, with clean throws and a positive engagement that makes every gear change feel intentional and rewarding. Actually driving the Cortina GT reveals why this car became a legend. The steering is light but communicative, with a surprising amount of feedback coming through the rim. The suspension manages that delicate balance between being comfortable enough for daily driving while still being responsive enough to inspire confidence when you do want to push. The car sits well in corners, body roll is well controlled, and there's a real stability that makes it fun to drive on winding roads. The brakes are disc at the front and drums at the rear, adequate stopping power without being exceptional. The real character comes from how the whole car just feels right in your hands. It's responsive without being nervous, stable without feeling heavy or isolated. The driving position is excellent, with good visibility and controls positioned exactly where your hands and feet want to find them. On a tight country lane, this car is absolutely alive, reacting to your inputs with enthusiasm and clarity. On a motorway, it settles into a steady cruise that feels effortless. There's something almost intuitive about how this car responds to what you're asking it to do. For practicality, the Cortina GT delivers more than you might expect from its compact dimensions. The trunk will swallow a surprising amount of shopping, luggage for a weekend trip, or whatever you need to carry on a daily basis. The fuel tank holds enough for reasonable range between fill-ups, and there are gas stations everywhere. The ground clearance is respectable, so speed bumps and rough roads aren't sources of anxiety. The turning radius is tight, making it easy to park and navigate tight city streets. Maintenance is straightforward, with simple, accessible systems that don't require special tools or expertise. Parts are available and affordable. The car is light enough that fuel consumption is reasonable, meaning your running costs won't spiral. In winter conditions, the compact wheelbase and lightweight actually work in your favor, providing nimbleness rather than creating concerns. The seating position is upright enough that you get a commanding view of the road, which helps with overall confidence in daily driving. The genuine strengths of this car are worth emphasizing. The design is timeless in a way that very few cars from any era can claim. The mechanical simplicity is actually liberating if you're the type of owner who wants to understand what's happening under the hood. The driving experience is genuinely rewarding, with a responsiveness and connection that many modern cars fail to deliver, even with computers doing the work. The build quality is solid, with steel that feels substantial. The cost of ownership, both in terms of initial purchase and ongoing maintenance, remains reasonable. It's a car that actually improves with use, where mechanical knowledge and care can keep it running indefinitely. The steering and suspension geometry is so well thought out that even by modern standards, it feels composed and confident. But there are honest weaknesses too. Crash safety is non-existent by modern standards, with no seatbelts as standard and a rigid steel structure that won't absorb impact energy. The electrical system is basic and can be temperamental, especially with age. The heating and ventilation, while functional, can take time to reach full effectiveness. The lack of power steering means genuine effort is required when parking, particularly for smaller frame drivers. The noise insulation is minimal, so wind and engine sound fill the cabin. The rear seat really is quite cramped for adults on long journeys. The windshield can be prone to misting in damp conditions. Rust, if not managed, can become an issue with age. The fuel consumption, while reasonable for the era, looks less attractive by modern standards. When it came to pricing in 1963, the Cortina GT represented remarkable value. It was accessible to ordinary families, yet it delivered driving enjoyment that rivaled cars costing significantly more. Today, prices for well-maintained examples vary considerably based on condition and provenance. You might find project cars for modest sums, while exceptional examples with documented history command prices that reflect their collectability. Adjusted for inflation and relative to the capabilities of the car, these prices remain sensible for what you're getting. A piece of automotive history that's genuinely fun to drive and maintain. Against its competitors, the Cortina GT had real advantages. The Morris 1100, while practical and perhaps more spacious, felt less engaging to drive. The Austin A40, a previous generation rival, simply couldn't match the Cortina's balance of performance and practicality. The Vauxhall Viva was a capable alternative, but the Cortina's superior steering and suspension setup gave it an edge in the driving department. The Renault R8 offered European styling, but British buyers preferred the Cortina's mechanical honesty and availability of spares. The Fiat 1100, popular in Italy, was comparable, but the Cortina's reliability reputation gave it an advantage in the British market. What the Cortina GT did better than almost anything else in its class was deliver driver engagement without compromising practicality. What the 1963 Ford Cortina GT MK1 ultimately represents is a turning point in automotive history. It proved that small cars could be both fun and practical, that affordability didn't require sacrifice, and that good design transcends time. It created a template that manufacturers are still trying to perfect today. It showed that engineering excellence doesn't require complexity, and that the connection between driver and machine matters more than raw power or prestige badges. Driving one today isn't about nostalgia, though that's certainly there. It's about experiencing a car that was built with genuine understanding of what people actually wanted, designed with intelligence and engineered with integrity. Every journey in one of these cars is a reminder of what's possible when a manufacturer gets the fundamentals absolutely right. So there you have it, a complete understanding of what made this car significant, what makes it genuinely rewarding to drive, and why it remains a benchmark for how compact cars should be designed. If you found this deep dive into automotive history valuable, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more detailed explorations of cars that shaped the industry. Drop a comment below and let me know which classic car you'd like me to dive into next, or share your own experiences if you've ever been behind the wheel of a Cortina GT. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.